Thank you, Hugh. Good evening once again. Lionel Messi matches another Diego Maradona World Cup landmark here tonight, but he's running out of time to join him in the pantheon of greats to have won this competition. And if Argentina lose here, it is all over. Mexico would love to end the chances of one of their nemesis over so many years, and they look dangerous opponents for a team wounded by their loss to Saudi Arabia. And the response to that has been strong from Lionel Scaloni, the Argentinian coach. 5 changes from that loss. Out go Molina, Romero and Tagliafico from the back 4. Montiel, Lisandro Martinez and Acuna come into the side. Guido Rodriguez replaces Paredes in midfield, and Alexis McAllister of Brighton comes in for Gomez on the right-hand side. So their team is Emi Martinez in goal, Montiel, Lisandro Martinez, Otamendi and Acuna. Holding in midfield, De Paul and Guido Rodriguez. Alexis McAllister will be in support of them with Angel Di Maria, and Messi and Lautaro Martinez in attack. The Mexican team, 3 changes and a change of shape as well. Ochoa in goal, Alvarez and Gallardo the wing-backs, Araujo, Montes and Moreno the 3 at the back, Herrera, Guardado and Chavez in midfield, Vega and Lozano in attack. This is an authentic World Cup moment. One of the game's legends and their team fighting for survival here. Live on TalkSport. Argentina know defeat and they will be out after 2 games of the 2022 World Cup. And this trophy will evade Lionel Messi for eternity. And the match is underway. Mexico on the attack right from the start in their green shirts, playing from left to right in the first half. But there's a slip from Lozano inside the Argentinian penalty area, away to our left, and Argentina will clear. Stuart Pearce, the former England captain, is alongside us here on TalkSport. And Stuart, we have not had an atmosphere like this so far at this World Cup. It is off the scale.
Quite incredible. Feel really privileged to be here tonight, not just for the scale of the game, but how it's evenly balanced now. Argentina on a potential knife edge if they don't get a desired result that they need, and I don't think Mexico will be in too much of a rush to hurry the game up. I think in their minds, the longer this can stay 0-0, the better it is for them.
And a crowd of close to 90,000 here north of Doha in the Lusail Stadium, which is truly an iconic venue, as Argentina win a free kick in the opening stages. A challenge from their captain Andres Guardado, now competing in his 5th World Cup, only the 6th player to do that, but he caught Di Maria on this near side. 2 of the veterans involved on the field here tonight. Argentina free kick taken short by Rodrigo De Paul on this near side. Back to Gonzalo Montiel of Sevilla. 3/4 of the Argentinian back 4 from that defeat against Saudi Arabia changed here tonight, and it's significant that the Argentinian in charge of Mexico, Gerardo Martino, has changed their formation to maybe try and stifle his fellow countrymen. As Di Maria down the right plays the ball infield to Messi, who shuffles away from the challenge of Guardado, pokes it wide towards McAllister, and it's quickly wide towards the far side. High cross to the far post, aimed for Di Maria, and it's headed away initially by Gallardo, but Di Maria has it back again just in front of us on this near side, and he shrugged off Gallardo, breaks towards the edge of the penalty area, and now De Paul on the outside with a low cross in, which is blocked by a lunging Guardado, and Argentina have a free kick on this near side with 2 minutes played on TalkSport, and it's 0-0 inside the Lusail Stadium, where you can barely hear yourselves think. The sky blue and white of Argentina dominating the stadium, but thousands of Mexicans grouped away to our right-hand side as well. It is a sulphurous atmosphere in this meeting between South and Central America, as the ball on this near side for Argentina seeks out Montiel, but it spins out of play, and it will be a throw into Mexico midway inside their own half.
Yeah, the tempo of this night is incredible. From the offset, both teams high revs, high tempo, and the Mexican low block, 5 men across the back line when they're out of possession, defending nice and deep, not much distance between each of the players.
Argentina have never lost their opening 2 games in the World Cup finals, and that defeat against Saudi Arabia was the first one in their opening match since another seismic shock when they were beaten as the holders against Cameroon in the San Siro back in 1990. And they have made progress in 12 of their previous 13 World Cups, the only exception when they were knocked out courtesy of David Beckham's penalty in Japan back in 2002. Mexico looking to press on the edge of the Argentinian penalty area. It's back to Aston Villa's Emi Martinez, who plays it square to this near side, and now Montiel under pressure, a high ball forward looking for Messi, but he's out-jumped in the centre circle by Moreno. But Argentina regain possession again, and here is Guido Rodriguez, the anchor man in midfield, wide to this near side, and Di Maria. He's got Montiel in space, herring down the right, but he comes back in field towards Messi again. A quick ball forward, looking for the run of Alexis McAllister, but Mexico win it back, and they will try and break now over the halfway line with Vega, but Vega tussling with Montiel. Montiel has gone down, claiming there was a facial injury, and our Italian referee, Daniele Orsato, has given the free kick. The Argentinians want a card there for the flailing arm by Vega, and the referee at the moment is having to sort out the first real flashpoint in the game with nearly 5 minutes played here on TalkSport, and it's 0-0, and I'm not too sure there was a huge amount in that. In fact, looking at the replay, Montiel should be embarrassed.
Yeah, and he's still on the floor being embarrassed, Nigel, by lots of things, to be quite honest with you. Just looking at the lineup of the Mexicans, out of possession, that strong 5-man barrier across the back, 3-man midfield, 2 up top. The spot going to be for the Argentinians, switch of play, get it wide, get it stretched. The 3-man midfield have got a lot of work to do, shuttling across from one side to the other.
Well, Montiel is receiving treatment here. There didn't seem to be any real contact from Vega. If anything, it was maybe the shoulder rather than the arm which may have made contact with him. Scaloni, the coach, the former West Ham player, is heading out towards the edge of his technical area to check on this. A reminder, earlier on today in this group, Group C, Poland beat Saudi Arabia by 2-0. Saudi Arabia had a penalty save when it was only 1-0 before Robert Lewandowski scored his first ever World Cup goal to give Poland their first victory. They are now top of this group on 4 points. Saudi Arabia have 3. Mexico on 1 at the start of play, with Argentina currently bottom of the table. And that means an Argentinian defeat here tonight, and they will be joining Qatar already in the departure lounge of this World Cup. France, the first team to guarantee their place in the knockout phase. Kylian Mbappe with a late winner. He got both of their goals against Denmark. That's in Group D, where Australia also beat Tunisia in the opening game of the day on TalkSport 2. So France are through, and there'll be a real scrap behind them, with Australia 2 points clear of Denmark before they beat in the final game. Play back underway here inside the Lusail Stadium, as Di Maria has to head back into his own penalty area once again, and he's supported by the veteran Otamendi, and now Emi Martinez looking to find Montiel, who seems to have recovered. Now De Paul, who again is given a ball in a difficult area. Vega almost robs him, and now Vega does rob him down the Mexican left-hand side. Low ball across the penalty area, cleared by Otamendi, but Mexico quickly win it back, and now it's wide towards the far side, and Araujo, one of the central defenders, moving forward. Further wide towards Kevin Alvarez, down the Mexican right-hand side, and they very quickly got half a dozen green shirts forward here as it's shuttled between Araujo and Alvarez, and now down the line for Lozano, down the Mexican right. Martinez comes across to make the challenge, and the ball ricochets behind off the Manchester United defender, and Mexico have the game's first corner with 7 minutes played here on TalkSport, and it's 0-0 between Argentina and Mexico.
Certainly is. It's fantastic, a game with this intensity, the crowd in the stadium, and the game being played at high revs. So much at stake for both teams.
Mexico with their first corner on the far side, and Alexis Vega, who plays for Guadalajara in Mexican football, he's the player who will take it. and it will be an outswinger. Argentina have everybody back. It's low into the near post, and Messi all alone will clear, but he was quickly closed down by Kevin Alvarez, and Mexico quickly win back possession. Here is Gallardo inside the centre circle. Now Guardado on this near side. Now 36 years of age, but still playing in La Liga for Betis, and Montiel with a heavy challenge on Irving Lozano, and this time it's the Mexicans' turn to approach the referee. And Daniele Orsato, who was a very experienced official, I think has been given this game because FIFA and the organisers were aware it could be a potential powder keg.
I think you're right there, Nigel. He's a very experienced referee. He's tried to get on top of any problems emerging at these early stages, and I think he realises he's got his work cut out tonight.
The spider cam hovers overhead just beyond Irving Lozano, and it swoops down to have a look at this Mexican free kick on this near side. Vega is also over it, but eventually it's high in towards that near post. It's deflected on and almost in at the far post. It was Hector Moreno who was sliding in, and he nearly got the touch. Cesar Montes at the near post just guided that ball on. Argentina were nowhere, and Moreno wasn't too far away.
Yeah, done really well. Good movement there. Just got across the front man of the Argentinian block on the line. But what you've got to say, there's some physical presence in the Mexicans when they go forward.
And it's been a nervous start here from Argentina in a game they can't afford to lose. 10 minutes played here on TalkSport. One of the truly big games of the World Cup so far. Mexico looking to attack again. Lozano tries to find Vega down the left-hand side, but Montiel stoops in to guide the header back towards Emi Martinez once again. And the noise and the pace unrelenting. Montiel just in front of Scaloni, the Argentinian coach, on this near side. Infield towards De Paul, and he's challenged and then fouled by Luis Chavez, and it will be a free kick. And every time a free kick has been given, there is afters from both sides at the moment. Quiet words in the referee's ear, and also between the two teams, two sides who clearly don't like each other. Argentina have had the better of the meetings over the years. Mexico have won only 4 of the 31 games between them, and they've lost all 3 of the games played in various World Cups. As Ochoa with a clearance downfield on this near side, and it breaks back towards Gallardo, who will try and take on Messi and plays it into the path of Vega on the halfway line, but his first touch in field was heavy, and it's gathered by Rodrigo De Paul. And now Argentina will try and break on this near side with Lautaro Martinez, and it's all the way back towards Otamendi. And now Montiel once again. And Nicolas Otamendi, another real veteran on the field today. So many 30-somethings who may be assessing their final chance in a World Cup, which just adds another fascinating element to what is always a tumultuous game between Argentina and Mexico. As a defensive header from Otamendi ricochets kindly for Mexico, and Vega plays it forward on this near side, and then Guardado crunches into the challenge on De Paul, and the ball is spun out of play for an Argentinian throw-in. And credit to both players, they got up and got on with it, but both of them left plenty on each other there.
I'll tell you what, Nigel, a couple of nights ago I watched Costa Rica play, and I was very critical about, they've got a very elderly squad and not putting a lot of energy in. And you're talking about a Mexican squad that are potentially sort of, I won't say as elderly as the Costa Ricans, but the aggression on the press is absolutely incredible, isn't it?
Argentina looking to build again on the far side, but the ball forward into the path of Alexis McAllister is closed down, and we always knew that both teams would be up for this, but Mexico at the moment are tenacious in every single challenge. Here is Gallardo, and as a result Argentina look flustered, and there is such a frenetic air off the field it really seeps onto the playing surface as Gallardo, under pressure from De Paul, hoops it forward on this near side, and it will be a throw-in for Argentina, which will be taken by Montiel as the Mexican supporters bounce up and down behind the goal away to our left-hand side, right-hand side rather, which is defended by Guillermo Ochoa. the 37-year-old who saved a penalty from Robert Lewandowski in the first game. You look down this Mexican starting lineup. Araujo is 31, Moreno 34, Guardado 36, Herrera 32. They have a very experienced spine, as Mexico are penalised for handball on this near side, and Gerardo Martino, the Argentine managing their team, looks fairly nonplussed with that decision making. He was 60 years of age on the opening day of the tournament, but he's still full of hunger. And his comments before this game show that there is very little love lost between himself and his home country when it comes to football.
I think we thought it was a tough game for both teams. I think that the person out there who's got the toughest game tonight is wearing yellow, actually, and officiating.
Absolutely. Now Otamendi plays it wide towards the far side. Guido Rodriguez into the path of Messi. And Argentina here are having real problems in trying to establish a platform in terms of passing football, and now De Paul has been robbed by Vega, who comes forward for Mexico, wide towards Lozano down the right-hand side. Sliding in to make the challenge was Lisandro Martinez, and Mexico have a throw-in, but once again those turnovers for Argentina could really hurt them.
Well, it's incredible. They've turned the ball over and they've attacked, and all of a sudden it was 2 against 5, so they're being outnumbered 5-2, but the excitement you can feel around the stadium with the Mexican fans think there's a counter-attack on.
Well, there are Argentinian fans all over this stadium. They dominate the end away to our left, but they also have the top tier above the Mexicans away to our right. So much sky blue and white all around this wonderful venue, and the journey from the centre of Doha on the metro out to the Lusail is one I'll remember for a long time. The songs, the excitement, the noise, just incredible. As Argentina have to defend again, their fans find their voices as Herrera is allowed to turn and play it forward, but it's quickly cut out. But a poor ball forward, it's cut out again, and here is Lozano on the edge of the Argentinian penalty area. He's robbed by Otamendi. Otamendi then goes flying, claiming he's been poleaxed by a Mexican player, I think Herrera, and once again the referee is not being given easy decisions to make here by the players.
Got to say, the referee's just got to let all this nonsense go. He really has. I mean, both teams are going to be play-acting most of the evening, and you've almost got to ignore it and carry on and just give the blatant fouls, really.
Otamendi now plays the ball in field to Guido Rodriguez, who has been brought in as the deep-lying midfielder just in front of the back four, but at the moment he's having to drop in as a third central defender when Mexico break. Now Alexis McAllister picks his way down the Argentinian left-hand side, infield towards Messi on the edge of the penalty area. The ball then strikes the referee. It was De Paul who was looking to find Messi, and the referee apologises, and there will be a drop ball 30 yards from goal, and it will be Argentina's ball as well. And the Mexicans retreat away from this rather ungraciously, and it's dropped to the path of De Paul. And Argentina look to this near side again, but then Otamendi, under pressure from Vega, has to turn in field to find Rodriguez. Messi lurking with intent on the edge of the area, but again he's challenged, and at the moment Mexico are getting 2 or 3 green shirts around him whenever the ball is in the vicinity, as Guardado stoops in to make the challenge now, and he was caught in the face by Lautaro Martinez, who was actually coming back from an offside position. And again Martinez complains, but Guardado has gone down. He was clutching his face, and then very quickly, once he knew that Mexico had the decision, he gets up.
Almost seemed to be clutching his face before any form of challenge you do.
Yes.
Yeah. It's a very, very difficult evening for the referee. You almost feel sorry for him, but I think he's handling all the gestures and all the play acting and 1 or 2 things pretty well at this moment in time.
17 minutes played here on Talk Sport. Argentina 0, Mexico 0 in the 2022 World Cup, and this, without any question, is a proper World Cup occasion on and off the field, as Mexico show great energy in the early stages. They want to throw in on the far side, which Araujo will take. And if Argentina thought this would be a routine opportunity just to pick up the points they need to give themselves comfort in this group, it could be a very long evening for them. Montez with a high ball forward for Mexico. Lozano challenging in the air, but he's lost out to Otamendi. It's quickly forward again towards Di Maria, but he slips at the crucial moment and the ball bobbles all the way back towards Guillermo Ochoa.
I'll tell you what is impressive, Nigel. Any straight balls from Argentina. Mexico are there, aren't they? They're touch tight on every straight ball, and when the player plays it off, there's almost a little niggle left there, isn't there? A little bit of afters left all the time, just to say, look, you play a straight ball and a loose one, we're going to have you.
Mexico have been serial losers in the round of 16. They've lost at that stage in the previous 7 World Cups. Their only knockout victory came when they were the hosts back in 1986, as Lozano charges forward now, and a combination of Otamendi and Rodriguez bring him down, and it's a Mexican free kick 35 yards from goal.
Yeah, I'm of the opinion there with Lozano, realised he didn't have a lot of help with him and just got across the front of Otamendi and went to ground. I'm not sure there was that much in that.
And Nicolas Otamendi, at the age of 34, of course, a former Premier League winner on 2 occasions with Manchester City, but he remains integral to this Argentinian team. This his 95th cap here tonight. Messi winning his 167th, and he's drawn level with Diego Maradona on 21 World Cup appearances for Argentina.
That in itself is quite incredible, that tally, isn't it? Amazing. They talk about their best players in the world, they talk about resting people and all that. You look at his playing record, year in, year out, he's playing 50, 60, 70 games. Incredible.
Free kick for Mexico. And Vega and Guardado are over this, and Vega may be thinking about a shot here. It's a long way out, but it's fairly central, but he could strike this right-footed. But it's clipped wide by Guardado and then flicked high into the penalty area, and Martinez comes and gathers at the second attempt under pressure from Hector Herrera, and it was a smart move there, the set piece from Mexico, but claimed by the Aston Villa goalkeeper.
Really good, well-worked move there. What they got wrong was the cross that finally come into the box, too much loft on it. If it had been a lower trajectory, there would have been every chance of someone getting a decent contact.
This stadium, the venue for the World Cup final, we're a long way from that, but this feels like a final tonight. Nearly 90,000 people here. Huge undulating stands. It's almost a cross between Wembley Stadium and the reshaped Velodrome in Marseille. As the ball is played back towards Emi Martinez once again. Moreno wins the header, but Argentina trying to get some meaningful possession in midfield. Messi, though, is challenged by Araujo, but Araujo then rides the challenge on the far side, and there are 2 or 3 rolls from the Argentinian who he caught, Marcos Acuna, and the yellow card is shown, the first of the game for Nestor Araujo.
As I say, an aggressive challenge, but it was followed by 4 or 5 rolls by Acuna. Then he sort of went up to a sitting position to have a look and make sure the referee had seen his anguish. No, that was an awful challenge.
Yeah.
He could go off for this.
The studs were raised by Araujo, and they raked down the calf of Acuna.
Firstly, the first vision of this we got from behind. You couldn't actually see it. When you re-see it again, Nigel, he's got to give him 6 of the best, certainly down the back of the calf.
Well, there doesn't seem to be a VAR check going on over that challenge. We have a Polish VAR this evening, Tomasz Kwiatkowski. But it's a free kick for Argentina, and their supporters take that as the cue to turn up the volume inside the Lusail Arena. 22 minutes played here on TalkSport. Argentina 0, Mexico 0. Lionel Messi and his side playing for World Cup survival here tonight. Now Di Maria looks to charge towards the area. Lisandro Martinez with a back heel, but it doesn't find Lionel Messi, and it's hammered away by Mexico on the far side. And we've got these very opulent, magnificent surroundings, Stuart, but this is a street game, isn't it?
It certainly is. There's two teams having a right go at each other, namely the Mexicans a touch more than the Argentinians. At this moment in time, I would say Argentina need to try and turn Mexico around a little bit. Everything's straight, into feet and predictably in front of them. They need to try and slide balls down channels and get runners in behind to really unhinge the Mexican backline.
Argentina have now won a throw-in on this near side, which Gonzalo Montiel will take, and we'll be covering groups E and F across the TalkSport network tomorrow. We'll begin on TalkSport 2 at 10 a.m. with Japan against Costa Rica with Adam Bridge and Alvin Martin, as Argentina look to bring it forward with Lisandro Martinez. Lautaro Martinez waiting on the edge of the penalty area. Di Maria trying his luck down the left, but the ball rebounds kindly for Argentina, and it's lofted wide by McAllister towards Messi, who steps in field. Now McAllister on the edge of the penalty area, wide towards Montiel. The cross high to the far post, and beyond the far post, Lautaro Martinez had rather been sucked towards the ball, and Mexico have a goal kick.
Yeah, I think Montiel just being flagged there for offside, just went slightly too early, and then didn't put any curl on the ball to get it round the back of that back line. 24
minutes played, 0-0. Coming up in Group F tomorrow on TalkSport at 1 o'clock with Ian Danter and Leanne Sanderson. Belgium against Morocco. Then I'll be alongside Dean Saunders for Croatia against Canada at 4 o'clock. And then Stuart has another massive game to enjoy with Jim and Adrian. Spain against Germany. Germany, of course, another team who could be going out if they lose tomorrow night. And I'm sure that we both saw Spain score 7 against Costa Rica. They'll be in the mood to show no mercy at all.
I'll tell you what, I'm really enjoying this weekend's football, watching Argentina sweating tonight and then Germany tomorrow. It doesn't get better than that, Nige, does it?
Absolutely. 10 local time here, but this stadium was full 2 hours before kickoff, and we've not seen that in the World Cup so far. There were very few empty seats here at kickoff time, only in the corporate areas. Mexico have it with Araujo. The one player who's been booked in the game so far. High hanging ball forward on the far side, and Martinez comes across just to hoof the ball out of play, and Mexico have a throw-in. Kevin Alvarez will take it. Neither goalkeeper has really had a shot to save so far in the game, but it's been incredibly intense. 26 minutes played. Alvarez down the right-hand side delivers a cross in which had way too much adrenaline pumping through it, and it's gone behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, there's a lot of bluster and energy, especially from the Mexicans. They'll be absolutely delighted that this game's all level pegging as it stands at the moment. I think that their game plan will be, look, the longer the game goes on, the more the Argentinians have got to come out against us, the more room we'll have for that counter-attack.
And really, even a point is not a great result for Argentina here tonight. With Poland winning today, they're on 4 points, and they play Poland in their final game. And Mexico will play Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia played well today in defeat, but can they string 3 good performances together with Mexico coming up in the final game? That's a big question. And Argentina may have to beat Poland and score a few goals in the process. On this near side, Messi, Guardado quickly at his back, but he's found DePaul. McAllister wide to the far side again, and there's an opportunity for Acuna to try and deliver a cross into the penalty area. He's gone beyond Alvarez. Alvarez makes the challenge. Acuna, though, delivers the ball in, but it had gone behind, and was the final touch of Alvarez. Well, Alvarez has gone down anyway, claiming that he was caught in the challenge as the cross was delivered in, and once again we have a player writhing around in apparent agony.
Yeah, he's just taken studs from Acuna. As he's gone down to make the challenge, Acuna's just put his foot straight on his calf.
And there is more treatment for a Mexican player on the far side. In the rugby union today, of course, TalkSport 2 is the home of the Autumn Nations Series. Wales lost in the end at home to Australia, 39-34. They were 34-13 up in that game, but a late collapse meant another defeat for Wayne Pivac and his team, and South Africa currently lead England 27 points to 13. That game is currently underway and live exclusively on TalkSport 2. Here on TalkSport, 28 minutes played, Argentina 0, Mexico 0, on another warm night at this World Cup. And there has been plenty of heat generated by the action on the field so far, and the passion off the field as well.
It's interesting, Nigel, we've seen two challenges that on another day, on another pitch, are reds, aren't they? In my opinion.
I'm not even sure the VAR had a look at that challenge from Araujo. As Montez plays a high ball forward now, and Lisandro Martinez beats Lozano in the air, as he should, although he's not the tallest central defender himself. And now Montez again will go all the way back towards Ochoa, who just had to check back there before dealing with the back pass from the Monterrey central defender. It's then flicked on by Lozano, but he came back from an offside position to do that, and it will be a free kick for Argentina. Of course, they lost their first game 2-1 against Saudi Arabia, having conceded only 2 goals in their previous 15 games. That incredible run of 36 unbeaten games, which carried them to the Copa America and victory over Italy in the Finalissima at Wembley, came to a shuddering halt.
I think it's incredible how quickly people forget about that long, unbeaten record, isn't it? You know, one defeat at the end of that, and all of a sudden there's calamity being talked about.
Well, Argentina is one of those football nations where you are very much judged on what happened in your previous game. Like in England to a certain extent, certainly around the UK. Very few people are reflecting on the 6-2 win against Iraq at the moment. Certainly in the English media and the English footballing support today, as Lozano comes back with another heavy challenge on Alexis McAllister, and it will be a free kick for Argentina just inside the Mexican half. Mexico came through qualification in the CONCACAF region, level on points with Canada, who will see once again tomorrow on TalkSport against Croatia after their rather unlucky defeat 1-0 against Belgium in their opening game.
I think just to avert you from a political incident, the victory was against Iran, not Iraq.
Sorry, my mistake. I should have known that. I saw them beat Wales yesterday. Now Messi has been fouled just inside the Mexican half by Herrera, and it will be a free kick for Argentina. And at the moment they're just beginning to find their way into this game, but it's very slow baby steps at the moment. Now De Paul wide to the far side, and Lisandro Martinez, and Acuna with an injection of pace finding Di Maria. A break into the penalty area now, and it's scrambled behind by Alvarez, and Argentina have their first corner on the far side, their left, with 31 minutes played. It's still goalless here on TalkSport.
Yeah, good movement there from Acuna. Just come inside, that underlapping run with the ball, and as soon as he got anywhere near the box, people didn't touch him. I'd almost be astounded if the Mexicans finished with 11 players in this game, you know, Mike.
It's got the look of a game with maybe 1 or 2 reds, you must say. Corner kick on the far side. Messi is over it, and it's an outswing and high to the far post, and it's flicked away. Now De Paul, right-hand side of the penalty area. He'll have to take the long way round beyond Vega. Vega with another heavy challenge. Studs were raised there again from the Mexican, and he hauls down De Paul, and it's another free kick, and again the referee says just calm it down, and we have seen yellow cards given for that in this competition so far.
Yeah, the studs were up, he was off the ground, but to be fair, he was sort of working the challenge in the same direction as the Argentinian, so I'm not sure the impact was there as bad as obviously we're suggesting it might have been, but certainly Every bit of foul.
Messi is over the free kick on this near side. De Paul could prove to be the decoy as the noise continues to echo around this stadium from both sets of supporters. They have not stopped singing since the start of this game, and Argentina are just beginning to take a grip. 12 minutes before half-time, but it's 0-0. Messi over the free kick on this near side. Mexico have packed the penalty area with green shirts. De Paul is the potential shorter option, but Messi could even whip this in and maybe even go for goal.
I think that is...
Messi does go for goal, and it's fisted over the top, up into the air by Ochoa. Ochoa then loses it, and then he's caught inside the penalty area by Lisandro Martinez. And Ochoa, I think, knew that something was coming there from Messi and just had to retreat, and the ball looped up into the air straight off the top of his gloves, and then eventually Lisandro Martinez just gave him a nudge as it came down.
Yeah, Ochoa didn't feel with confidence there, did he? Under the crossbar the ball was, understandably, but the punch just went directly up in the air, never even cleared the 6-yard box.
34 minutes played, Argentina 0, Mexico 0 here, live on TalkSport.
For a game, Nige, where we've had plenty of excitement to talk about, we probably haven't even had an effort at goal, have we?
We've had one from Mexico, and I assume that's the free kick that was deflected across the penalty area. I can't think of many others.
No shots on target.
Argentina looking for another free kick as Messi goes down under the challenge. There's another high boot raised here, and the free kick has been given to Argentina, and it was Lozano who caught Lisandro Martinez on the side of the face, and he did clump him with the studs.
Yep, certainly got one there. Martinez attempting to just get his head on something. Lozano's overhead effort just called him in the face.
And then before that, Messi was looking to just retreat into midfield, and Moreno blocked him off, way off the ball.
I really think, Nige, that the problem with Argentina, they're very methodical in the way they're building up and into feet and straight balls, and I can't remember hardly once where they've turned them round with a movement, diagonal run, straight ball, and vice versa.
Argentina are another team here at this World Cup, relying on a veteran providing a moment of magic at the moment. Here is Di Maria, promising run, but he eventually ends up in a cul-de-sac occupied by Andres Guardado, and Mexico are able to clear. But here is De Paul on the halfway line, back towards Rodriguez. Now Lisandro Martinez, and Acuna under pressure from Alvarez has to go all the way back towards the halfway line. Now he turns, tries to find Lisandro Martinez again, but it's all so hurried from Argentina. They look like a team under pressure here.
It's safety in numbers for the Mexicans as well, Nigel. Any Argentinian player goes on a little run or potentially strives forward, there's 2 or 3 players barking at his feet.
And Lionel Scaloni, who played against Mexico for Argentina at the 2006 World Cup in the round of 16 when Maxi Rodriguez scored the winner for Argentina in extra time, comes out towards the edge of his technical area. And these sides also met in the first ever World Cup in 1930 when Argentina won 6-3, and also in the round of 16 in 2010 when Carlos Tevez scored twice in a 3-1 victory. Mexico tried to build on the far side, but there was no real communication between Araujo and Lozano, and the ball is all the way back towards Emi Martinez. And you're right to say it, Stuart, the atmosphere is incredible, but at the moment the football is maybe suffering from that.
No, I don't think there's been a game that has had so little incident that I've been so hooked on and intrigued by, Nigel. It's incredible, really.
Well, that's the jeopardy of a team knowing that if they lose, they go home. Now Alexis McAllister, strong play from him, and it's infield quickly towards De Paul, now wide towards Messi, coming infield from the right hand side up towards the edge of the penalty area. De Paul takes over. He's gone around the back right-hand side, then runs out of room, slips as he crosses, and you can hear the boos from the Mexican supporters as his cross gently floats behind that goal away to our right-hand side.
I think the Mexicans will be delighted with their work at this moment in time. You know, it's the analogy I use, it's like a dam filling up with water. The pressure on the Argentinians, they'll know they have to keep chasing, and as I say, the longer that goes on, you know Mexico will have opportunities.
38 minutes played, 0-0 here on Talk Sport on the night when France have booked their place in the round of 16, the first team to go through with a 2-1 win against Denmark. And Denmark ran them close. Kylian Mbappe with 2 goals, including a winner 4 minutes before the end. Also in that group, Australia off the mark with a 1-0 win earlier today against Tunisia. And elsewhere in this group, Poland beating Saudi Arabia by 2-0. Robert Lewandowski with his first ever World Cup goal. And that means that they are top of this group at the moment with 4 points. Saudi Arabia have 3 points. Mexico have 1. Argentina still bottom of the group, and that's why they really need to win this game here today.
I think the Mexicans have got a problem. I think there's going to be a substitute here.
Now an opportunity for Montiel to deliver a cross in down the right-hand side for Argentina, but it's blocked by Hector Moreno, and it spins behind for a corner, and there will be a change very shortly here for Mexico, and it's Eric Gutierrez of PSV Eindhoven who will be coming on, a midfielder. The corner's played short by Messi towards Di Maria, crossed high into the penalty area, and in the end headed wide at the near post. It was an opportunity there. Lisandro Martinez was involved at the near post. It was a good ball in from Di Maria, but the header off target.
Yeah, Di Maria's cross in here, lovely floated cross, and to be honest with you, if he'd have missed it, there's every chance that's fading into the far corner.
It was Lautaro Martinez who got the touch in the end, but it was high and wide, and there are exasperated Argentinian fans all around us here because they are living every single moment of this day. And here is the change, and it's the captain, Andres Guardado, who is coming off, and he throws the armband to the ground in disappointment, and his participation in his 5th World Cup may have come to a premature end here. There is sympathetic applause from the Mexican supporters away to our right, but their captain makes way, and Eric Gutierrez is the player who comes on to replace him.
This will be a real blow for them. As I say, started the game pretty well, I'm sure, to their game plan, and he's been integral in the centre of the pitch in regard to that.
Guardado gets a sympathetic pat on the head from Tata Martino. Of course, coached both Argentina and Barcelona. Previously in his career, he lost successive Copa America finals on penalties to Chile when it seemed that Lionel Messi would never win a major honour with Argentina. Of course, that ended with the most recent Copa America. And Mexico try and build again here. Vega, though, on the edge of the penalty area, is closed down, and coming back to try and make something happen was Lautaro Martinez, but he just plays it straight out of play, and it will be a throw-in for Mexico, 15 yards from the corner flag on the far side there right, and we have 3 minutes of the first half to play. It's a first half which has flown by despite the lack of opportunities, but it's still 0-0 here on Talk Sport as Alvarez tries to manufacture a free kick on the far side, but he's been closed down by Acuna, and the referee didn't buy it, and Argentina will try and clear their lines. And it's already looking like the sort of game where the first goal could be the winner as Argentina try and play out, and they make a mess of it. Gutierrez, he was caught on the edge of the penalty area, and it's a yellow card for Gonzalo Montiel. Gutierrez's first involvement after Argentina again turned over possession very close to their own goal, and this a very presentable set-piece opportunity for Mexico.
Yeah, just looking at that challenge, Gutierrez just nicked it away from him, just called him across the shins late on the challenge. In fact, he caught the left leg and then slid straight onto the right, so he gave him both barrels there. But as you rightly say, what we're talking about, 22, 23 metres out. Really good opportunity.
And there was a real committee over this free kick for Mexico. And it's Alexis Vega who is spotting the ball up, but he's been given plenty of advice there. Herrera is also over the ball. Gutierrez was expressing an interest, but the Mexican fans are expectant. They are whirling their scarves over their heads here. Just before half-time, can they take the lead against an Argentinian team who are playing under real pressure?
I think if we're going to have a goal in any direction for the betterment of the game, it will probably be a Mexican one, won't it?
And there is a draft excluder in the shape of Di Maria for the Argentinian wall. Alexis Vega is lining this up, and he kills it right-footed. Brilliant save by Martinez. Well, he managed to cling on to that. Vega whipped it over the wall. It seemed destined for the back of the net, but Martinez flung himself across to his right-hand side to keep Argentina on level terms.
Magnificent stop there. Bent it with his right foot round the wall, heading into the far corner behind the side that the wall was covering, and Martinez flew across the goal. And a great one for the grandchildren to see in the future.
Wow.
Great save.
What really a chance. Good. And what relief here for Mexico. But Argentina come forward again now. We're into a minimum of 5 more minutes at the end of the first half here on Talk Sport. It's 0-0. But a game played in such a noisy, passionate atmosphere is always likely to hold the attention. And now it's the turn of the Mexican fans to really turn up the volume inside the stadium, and I'm sure the Argentinians will very quickly respond. And there is a pocket of Mexican fans right in the middle of the Argentinians away to our left. They are brave, brave people.
It's just incredible, isn't it, the intensity. I don't know how many have travelled from Mexico and how many locals have just put on a Mexican shirt or an Argentinian shirt to add to the atmosphere in these stadiums.
Well, Mexico always seem to take about 300,000 to every World Cup, don't they? Argentina now looking to create something themselves. Montiel with a run down the right-hand side, but it is shepherded behind by Jesus Gallardo. And Mexico will have a goal kick, and that free kick from Vega, the first effort on target we have had in the game from the Mexicans. And Argentina at the moment are really living off scraps, and Lionel Scaloni, their coach, just runs a hand through his jet black hair because a big 15 minutes coming up for him here. Ochoa with a long goal kick forward. It almost bounces all the way through to Vega, but Lisandro Martinez slips as he clears, but it's quickly headed forward again by Cesar Montes, and now Di Maria on this near side. You can hear the boos for him from the Mexican supporters. De Paul, poor ball from him, cut out by Gutierrez. Gutierrez is then fouled by Lionel Messi, who shrugs his shoulders and throws up a dismissive right hand. And then he's standing there like a teapot, Messi, because it's been that sort of half for him.
Yeah, he's had enough of the ball, but he's had it in the mid-band rather than the advanced area, you know, in the final third. So he's knitted things together, but every time he's got the ball, as you would expect of a player of his standard, 2 or 3 players have got straight up to him as quick as possible and stopped his momentum.
And we've spoken about the Mexican experience and maybe the aging legs, but they always seem to find something extra in the big games. They sometimes lose them, particularly in the round of 16, but in the group stage they always seem to produce something special, and if they can win this game tonight, that would be right up there for them. We are nearly 3 minutes into added time. 0-0 here on TalkSport. Di Maria finding De Paul. And now all the way back towards Otamendi once again. Montiel swept forward towards Lautaro Martinez. Messi again is challenged. It's a good challenge as well, which comes in from Luis Chavez, and he will try and break now down the right-hand side. And Lautaro Martinez is just hobbling away from a challenge beneath us here as Mexico win a throw-in on the far side, and they have been a real pest for Argentina in the first half. They've been buzzing around in their ears right throughout the game, and they produce moments of quality. But there's almost a mistake from Herrera, but it's dug out eventually by Montes, and Mexico with a throw-in on this near side. And arguably, Stuart, would you say they've been the better team, Mexico?
I would say it's even Stevens, if I'm being honest with you. I think they've been more dogged in their defending. There's less expectation on the Mexicans, isn't there, from all of us, because we know Argentina have got to win it. So I would say it's been even Stevens. Probably on territory and possession, Argentina have just edged it for me.
And now a poor defensive header finds Vega. He lets fly right-footed. He was looking to slice across the face of the ball there and send it whizzing off the outside of his right boot, but it's too high over the top this time.
I'll tell you what, he caught that so cleanly, but obviously too much loft on it. But if that was on target, my goodness, that would have caused a problem.
Headed forward now by Moreno. Quickly returned to him by Rodriguez, and now De Paul controls in a very deep area, and McAllister is able to turn and find Lautaro Martinez, and back towards McAllister again, and wide to Di Maria down the right-hand side. Snapping away at his heels is Gallardo, but Argentina with their first real fluent move of the game, and it's Di Maria finding Messi. Messi, a low cross into the penalty area, is eventually delivered by Acuna, and sliding in to put the ball behind is Cesar Montes for an Argentinian corner, and there may just be time to take it.
Yeah, you could see the element of panic in the Mexican back line and midfield. All of a sudden, little 1-2s are developing. It's gone out wide, and Montes has done brilliant at cutting that out.
Final moments of the first half. Messi with the corner for Argentina into the near post. It's headed away, and Daniele Orsato blows the half-time whistle. It has been absolutely breathless, but Mexico have done well to thwart Argentina for much of the opening 45 minutes, and they've had the best opportunity. Alexis Vega with that curling free kick, which was kept out superbly by Emi Martinez. But at the moment, the pressure remains on Argentina. Half-time, Argentina 0, Mexico 0. Well, it's been tetchy, it's been poor, but it's been absolutely gripping nonetheless. That is World Cup football involving Argentina, when they know that defeat will send them home. They're about to get the second half underway here on TalkSport. Mexico, of course, forced into a first half change. Their captain, Andres Guardado, taken off injured to be replaced by Eric Gutierrez. A reminder of the two teams again. Argentina, Emi Martinez in goal. Montiel, Lisandro Martinez, Otamendi and Acuna, the back four. Guido Rodriguez holding in midfield in front of De Paul and McAllister, with Di Maria and Lautaro Martinez in support of Messi in attack. The Mexican team is now Ochoa in goal, Alvarez, Araujo, Montes, Moreno and Gallardo at the back, Herrera, Gutierrez and Chavez in midfield. Vega and Lozano are the two players leading their attack. And Mexico in their green shirts, attacking the goal away to our right in the second half, which has the bulk of their most vocal support behind it. Argentina in their famous light blue and white stripes, and I would think there are probably 60,000 Argentinian fans inside the stadium here tonight. They've made a huge noise, quite a racket, but at the moment they know a draw may not be enough for them here this evening at the end of this group. Here is Messi coming forward for the first time in the second half, in towards McAllister, and once again Mexico break things up.
I bet you if you looked at the heat map of Messi's touches, they're in deep line positions like we just saw there, where he picked the ball up, there was only two Argentinian players, the two central defenders behind him, basically. That's how well the Mexicans have forced him back. And you talk about, you made the statement, Nigel, earlier about not particularly good play. Somewhere down the line, you've got to give a lot of credit to the organisation, the hard work and good defending. It's not a dirty word in the modern game, I'm afraid. And Mexico have defended stoutly and collectively really well.
Absolutely, there's more than one way to win a football match, and you have to keep yourself in the game at times, and that's what Mexico have done here. Headed forward by McAllister, and now Lautaro Martinez went down looking for the free kick, didn't get it, and there's a chance for Lozano to break now for Mexico down the centre, and he got the opportunity to fire at a shot, but it was blocked by a retreating Guido Rodriguez. But Mexico still have it on this near side with Araujo, crossed in towards Lozano, who tries to control it, hooked high into the air at the far post by Lisandro Martinez, and it's claimed eventually by Emi Martinez.
Yeah, every time the Mexicans pick the ball up, even if they're outnumbered, on that occasion he was outnumbered 3-1, and the excitement that generates around the stands.
They are absolutely tenacious in the way they play, in the way they live their football. Now Acuna finding Messi, but again a stab ball forward, doesn't find the target, hammered long downfield by Araujo. And the situation in the group with Poland on 4 points, Saudi Arabia on 3 points, Mexico, if you include this game, would have 2 and Argentina would have 1. Of course Mexico have Saudi Arabia in their final game, and they would know a win would put them through. So all of the pressure here is still on Argentina, and of course they play Poland in their final game, and that could be a case of winner takes all, with the Mexicans facing the Saudi Arabians.
We just had a look at Sal's done some brilliant work there just in the break, and
now Vega comes forward for Mexico, but the pass was behind Lozano. Sorry, Stuart.
Sal, our producer, has just done some brilliant work there, and just showing the heat map of Messi, where he's picked the ball up and had his touches, and none of it is anywhere near any of the penalty areas, you know, and he's been forced back into deeper and deeper lying areas to get a feel of the ball and try and set things up.
I think the one touch he had around the penalty area was the free kick, which he tried to curl over the head of Ochoa and was fisted up in the air. Yeah. And that at the moment is Argentina's only effort on target in this game. 49 minutes played on TalkSport. Argentina 0, Mexico 0. And the noise continues to rumble around this stadium. Now Messi charging forward towards the edge of the penalty area, and he was caught there by Gutierrez, and the yellow card has been flourished once again, and this a free kick for Argentina in a very good area for a player of Messi's quality.
Yes, this is crying out for a left footer, but we know one in the Argentinian ranks with that quality. But all of a sudden you could see the panic. Messi got beyond the midfield, and 2 or 3 players chasing him back, and in the end they just bring him to ground in a very, very dangerous area.
Well, Gutierrez tried to hold him back by the shoulder and then had a nibble at the ankles to eventually get the job done, but he becomes the 3rd player to be booked in this game, and it's a free kick for Argentina just outside the D, right of centre. And of course Lionel Messi is the only candidate to take this, and Argentina in desperate need of a goal here, and can their captain deliver it here? He has been their inspiration on so many occasions, and of course he lives every single moment. Every single defeat really cuts deep into him as well, but Messi here can influence this game in a more positive way. Argentina aren't too happy that the wall is back the requisite yards, but it's chipped by Messi, and he got right underneath that. A real 9-9 over the crossbar.
Yeah, poor execution there. It was absolutely ideal for a left footer. Argentina set a wall up probably a yard, 2 yards in front, and it was pretty obvious where he was going, trying to go up and down. But to be fair, he didn't even get it into the corner at all, did it? It was almost straight over the top of the wall and straight over the top of the goalkeeper, who was centralised.
Well, Messi has scored in his previous 5 Argentinian games. Of course, got the early penalty against Saudi Arabia, which they hoped would have settled them down, but they had that flurry of offside goals before half-time, before Saudi Arabia caught them out in the early stages of the second half, and Argentina never really recovered. Now a high ball played forward again for Vega. He was offside, though, as he came back to challenge for that. That's happened on 1 or 2 occasions for Mexico, and it will be a free kick for Argentina. 7 minutes played in the second half here. Argentina 0, Mexico 0. Even at this stage, there are fans around the stadium who can barely look.
And they're Mexican fans.
Well, maybe they know what's coming.
Yeah, potentially.
Now Martinez back towards Guido Rodriguez for Argentina. And there is space on the far side for Montiel. But again, Mexico are so disciplined without the ball. They all drop back, they all know their job, and they're becoming very hard to break down for an Argentinian side who have often looked laboured in possession. Here is Rodriguez once again, now De Paul, wide to the far side. Di Maria with the opportunity to scurry forward and take on Gallardo, delivers the high cross into the penalty area. Shaping for it was Alexis McAllister, but Mexico will scramble the ball away, and eventually they have a free kick on the edge of their own penalty area for a challenge on Lozano. And at the moment, Argentina continue to be kept at arm's length by Mexico.
I'll tell you what the Mexicans do really well, and I enjoy watching teams defend. You know, you put a defensive practice on Nige and attack v defence, and we've almost got that. It's become that in this game. Argentina staging attacks against an 8, basically a 5 and a 3, and the scanning that's going on to see where the spare player is, the passing on, the getting tight on a straight ball. It's fantastic to watch.
53 minutes played, still goalless here, but it's won back well by Lautaro Martinez on this near side, player who scored 7 times in the World Cup qualification and also scored a hat-trick the last time these two sides met, when Argentina beat Mexico 4-0 in Texas back in 2019. Now De Paul works it wide to the far side. He was looking for the run from Di Maria, but he'd stayed where he was, so Mexico are able to clear the ball long downfield once again, and just signs of 1 or 2 areas of frustration from the Argentinian support, who are massed behind the goal away to our left. Now Messi gathers from deep again, but he's found Montiel, who jabs it wide to the far side, and he was looking for Di Maria, but it was Lozano who came back to make that challenge, slid in, and all Argentina had was a throw-in, and Irving Lozano, who is the primary striker for Mexico, is doing so much defending deep inside his own half at the moment. Now McAllister, wide on the far side again, towards Montiel. Di Maria looks to attack the penalty area. He's gone beyond Gutierrez, heading towards the byline. Low ball in towards Martinez. There were half-hearted appeals for handball as Mexico tried to scramble the ball away. It was Chavez who got the touch, and now Vega is able to bring the ball clear for Mexico on this near side. Lozano swings a high ball forward. There's a chase here for Alvarez, but Argentina have players back, and a combination of Acuna and Otamendi bring the ball clear.
I tell you what, Chavez's recovery run to fill the penalty box, the penalty spot area, was magnificent then. If it wasn't for that, that's a goal.
Now Messi has been robbed by Gutierrez. Lozano stumbles away from the challenge of De Paul, but he keeps going on the far side. He'll take on Montiel. He's outnumbered. Then De Paul barges into the floor, but appeals for a free kick fall on deaf ears. Here is Messi, wide on the far side to Di Maria once again, and he's this time wriggled away from the challenge of Gallardo, heading towards the byline. Has to double back, and he's got support this time. Messi receives it from De Paul. Now further square to Rodriguez, 25 yards from goal. Acuna. But Argentina having to go sideways and backwards here in front of a very durable, resolute Mexican defence.
There's just a few signs I've seen recently of if players are left isolated one-on-one, the Argentinian players have got the ability to nick past them. They've got to keep doubling up with each other and trebling up on occasion.
Argentina are making their first change. Enzo Fernandez of Benfica is the player coming on, and they are sacrificing some of their defensive cover here because it's Guido Rodriguez who is making his way off, and this is an attacking change made by Lionel Scaloni, but it's also a gamble to a certain extent. They brought on a 24-year-old winning only his 5th cap here. Wasn't involved at all in the World Cup qualification, Enzo Fernandez, but has had a very good season with Benfica. Of course, they've qualified for the round of 16 in the Champions League as well. Mexico just looking to contain at the moment. Here is Araujo, and the ball forward is volleyed up in the air by Lautaro Martinez, headed forward by Herrera. The 3 in midfield for Mexico have worked incredibly hard, and here is another part of that trio. Gutierrez, who came on for Guardado in the first half. 57 minutes played here, it's still 0-0, and there's a run from left back from Gallardo on the far side. He barges over the first Argentinian player in his way, Montiel, but it's still cleared downfield by Otamendi. Now Messi, 15 yards inside his own half, tries to evade the attentions of Gutierrez, and he's got some support from McAllister. Infield towards Messi again, and now Messi shrugs off Gutierrez, tries to thread the ball through towards Lautaro Martinez, and in the end it doesn't quite break for him, and Mexico are able to hammer it downfield, and Vega's having his shirt pulled there by Lisandro Martinez, and the referee, fair enough, spotted that, tried to see if Vega had the advantage, and eventually none was forthcoming, so he pulls it back and gives Mexico the free kick.
Referee brilliant. Some of his facial expressions and gestures are brilliant. Every time the players come to him with a shrug and a gesture, he just replies in kind.
Yeah, Daniele Orsato in many ways has been the star of the game so far. If we're looking for a man of the match at this stage, it's probably him. Free kick.
Just 1 or 2 signs of the Mexicans looking a little bit tired now. This might, bear in mind we've not even hit the 60th minute yet. They've got a half hour to go and more.
Free kick from Vega into the penalty area. Good delivery. Headed away though at the far post by Otamendi, and now Gonzalo Montiel can bring it forward for Argentina on the far side. Slid down the line for De Paul, but good covering from Kevin Alvarez to step across and just ensure he went no further, and Argentina have a throw-in down their right.
Really good. Fantastic ball in by Vega, by the way. He's absolutely crying out for someone to get on the end of it.
And he is one of the home-based players with Guadalajara. As the Argentinian supporters silenced at the moment away to our left-hand side as they watch their team come forward. They know the clock is ticking. Half an hour to play. 0-0 here on Talk Sport. Already in this group today, Poland winning 2-0 against Saudi Arabia. France have beaten Denmark 2-1. They are the first team through. Also in their group, Australia with a notable victory 1-0 against Tunisia, and they play Denmark next, and it's in their hands. It's also in Denmark's hands, of course. Intriguing games coming up in the final round of group games. Now a crossing from the right-hand side for Argentina, headed away well by Contes at the near post. But Argentina are winning back more and more of the second balls now, and it's coming back increasingly quickly as Argentina prepare to make a double change here. Julian Alvarez will be coming on very soon, along with Rafael Molina, as De Paul loses out to Lozano, and he brings it forward now for Mexico, and I think he was looking for the free kick, but he knew he was heavily outnumbered, and in the end he clears the ball away, and Argentina win it back.
They just can't get up the pitch at the moment, Mexico. They've got so many players back. When they do turn it over and do get it forward, they're being outnumbered 3-1.
Alexis McAllister of Brighton, wide to the far side, and Montiel. Now Di Maria. Can he still provide that injection of pace? He shuffles in field and then doubles back to the outside again. His low ball in, though, is blocked at the near post by Cesar Montes. And Argentina continue to have their patience really stretched here as they look for their opening goal. Enzo Fernandez wide towards Di Maria again, early cross into the penalty area. Montes was on the end of that yet again. He's defended it superbly.
Oh, he's been outstanding, he really has.
And Argentina still press here. 62 minutes played. The 2022 World Cup here on TalkSport. This one of the big games in the group stage. 0-0 at the moment, and that may not be enough for Argentina when we come to the end of this group stage, as the changes are now made for Argentina, and they are taking off Lautaro Martinez to bring on a right back, essentially, Nahuel Molina, who plays for Atletico Madrid, and also Montiel will be coming off, and he will be replaced by Julian Alvarez. Of course, the Manchester City youngster who has scored 7 times for Pep Guardiola's team so far this season. And Argentina have already used 3 of their changes early in the second half, as Lozano chasing forward again for Mexico. He's all on his own, and he tries to win a corner kick, but he runs it out of play, and it will be a goal kick. And he is taking the lone striker role to extremes here, Stuart.
To be fair, every time one of the advanced Mexicans picks it up, they literally have got 3 players confronted, and they've got to just try and do their best to run the ball into a corner or get an attempt away. But it's so difficult on your own.
Well, Raul Jimenez will be coming on shortly for Mexico. Now Messi, 25 yards out, low shot from him, and Lionel Messi has done it! The Argentinian crowd erupts, and the talisman strikes again. There seemed little danger, but there's always danger when Lionel Messi is around, and his low right-footed shot snaked away from Guillermo Ochoa, and Lionel Messi has brought Argentina right back into this World Cup. When they needed him, he delivered. It's Argentina 1, Mexico 0.
Big players, big expectations, big moments. They deliver. Incredible. Nowhere near the edge of the box, you know, central area. He's received it. He's probably maybe about 26, 27 metres out, and he's hit a sidewinder on the floor. Gone through bodies, I've got to say, right in the corner though. Goalkeeper, no chance of stopping that. And that has relieved the pressure somewhat and changed the dynamic of this game all in 1 second.
Well, on the night he joined Diego Maradona on 21 World Cup appearances. He scored his 8th World Cup goal, now 2 behind Batistuta in the all-time list. Mexico are going to make changes, and it's Kevin Alvarez who's replaced by Raul Jimenez, who of course hasn't played for Wolves since August due to a groin injury. He comes on to win his 97th cap, and Alexis Vega has also been replaced, and the man who comes on for him is Uriel Antuna, another one of the home-based players, formerly of Manchester City but now with Cruz Azul.
We've got to change the shape here by the looks of things. They've gone to a 4, have they, the Mexicans, Nige?
Yeah, they've got to go for this now, haven't they?
Yeah, indeed.
They started with a 4 in their game against Poland, played 4-3-3, and now they're going for something similar here with Antuna wide on the right-hand side. There'll be a double change for Argentina soon as well, and Lionel Scaloni is very keen to make that change, as a yellow card has been shown to Hector Herrera for a foul on this near side on Alexis McAllister.
Well, if I was a betting man, I would say there's every chance of a sending off of a Mexican and probably another goal or 2 for Argentina. Now this game's going to open up.
Well, Christian Romero of Tottenham is one of the players who is coming on, and Ezequiel Palacios of Bayer Leverkusen will be the other. They will be on very soon for Argentina. Romero, of course, left out of this game as Mexico look to come forward now. Acuna, he's quick down the right, low cross into the penalty area, cleared away at the near post. And Montes with a deflected ball down the line. The final touch was off Acuna, and Mexico will have a throw-in on this near side, and Argentina are desperate to make these changes. Scaloni is twirling his fingers furiously above his head to let the officials know, and Daniel Orsato has now spotted that, and Argentina will bring on replacements 4 and 5, but not yet, and he is incandescent with rage. Scaloni, he can't believe it. And Mexico have a throw-in. They've got the right to play on. Jimenez with a cross into the penalty area. It's wide to the far side. Lozano turns, then Gutierrez tries to work it right wide to the left, but it's been quickly blocked. And Mexico will try and keep Argentina penned in here. Jimenez once again on this near side. It's a real gamble putting him on, but at this stage of the game they have to go for it. Acuna works the 1-2 with Jimenez. Low cross into the penalty area, and it's flashed away on this near side by Otamendi, and it will be a throw into Mexico once again, and these changes will be made now. Alexis McAllister will come off to be replaced by Ezequiel Palacios.
We've just got an offside down here in this near corner.
A free kick's been given to Argentina in the end, and Di Maria is also coming off as well. And all around this stadium the Argentinian flags are flying. There are banners draped over the two tiers away to our right hand side. It is the sort of sight you often see at La Bombonera and also the River Plate Stadium, and a rather large portion of Buenos Aires has been transplanted here to Doha on this Saturday night. We're coming up to 11:30 in the evening local time, and Argentina have made their changes, and they lead by a goal to nil thanks to Lionel Messi. And as you said, Stuart, big players come up with those big moments.
We talk about all the expectations of these big players, but they live off of it. They're used to it. It's the norm for them. You know, it's the norm for Messi to expect to be the best player on the pitch, to expect to score the goal.
Argentina looking to get the second goal here, which would possibly put this game away. Now a back heel and a low cross into the penalty area from Acuna, and the shot is fired wide. It was a real opportunity at the far post because Molina was completely unmarked. He had time to bring that ball down, but he hurried the shot right-footed and it whizzed over the angle.
Really poor effort there, slashed across the ball, high and wide. You've got to do better than that there in a game that has been so few open chances.
Messi's goal was only Argentina's second shot on target. Mexico have had one, the first half free kick from the now departed Alexis Vega. And there will be another change very soon for Mexico. Roberto Alvarado of Guadalajara will be coming on. And the Mexican supporters momentarily have been silenced by Messi. But here is Montes with a buccaneering run forward. But all he can do is squirt the ball behind, and it will be a goal kick to Argentina. And all of a sudden, with 19 minutes to play here on TalkSport, leading by a goal to nil, they're not hurrying, Stuart.
No, they're certainly not. The defensive formation that Mexico were adopting, that 5-3-2, has been adopted now by the Argentinians, I think, to keep themselves in the game.
And that goal from Lionel Messi, his 8th in World Cups, also brings him level with Diego Maradona on that total on the same night that he's matched him for World Cup appearances, and of course he will pass that surely in the final game coming up against Poland. At the moment the situation in the group has really tightened up thanks to his goal. We'll give you that in a moment, but first of all, Argentina are looking to break forward here on the far side with Molina. He's been found by De Paul. Molina's got support, and De Paul, who spent a good portion of his career playing in Mexico, tries to find Messi again, but Mexico will clear. And then Herrera with a header forward, and it's hooked on quickly by Jimenez, and here is Acuna, but the ball never quite sat down for him, and it's run out of play and then hammered out of play on this near side by Romero, and he almost clatters through the advertising hoardings, and I think he's taken out 3 stewards beneath us as well.
He certainly has.
The group at the moment: Poland 4 points, Argentina 3 points, Saudi Arabia with an inferior goal difference 3 points, and Mexico with 1 point. Mexico play Saudi Arabia in their final game, and it's Poland against Argentina, so that group is on a knife edge. And Irving Lozano has now been replaced by Roberto Alvarado for Mexico, so they've really freshened up their forward options in the remaining 13 and a half minutes here. 1-0 Argentina lead thanks to Lionel Messi on Talk Sport. Kylian Mbappe really dug the French out of a hole with 2 goals earlier on, including a very late winner against Denmark. They are through in Group D. Australia, Denmark and Tunisia will sort out the place behind them as a high ball played forward for Jimenez, but it beats both him and Otamendi in the air and spins all the way through towards Emiliano Martinez.
Just not been able to get sufficient numbers forward at this moment in time, Mexico. They've got the ball forward and secured it on the odd occasion, but it's just really been a numbers game, and they just haven't had the numbers to support the ball.
If you missed the rugby earlier on, Wales losing 39-34 to Australia over on TalkSport 2, and England beaten by the world champion South Africa 27-13. Here in the Lusail Stadium, live on TalkSport from the World Cup, Argentina leading Mexico by a 1-0. Lionel Messi the goal scorer, and they are playing their way back into this World Cup with a win here tonight. De Paul once again on the far side, and since half-time they have been the better side by some distance. But it's now been given away, and Mexico just looking to create that one chance. But now Messi is on the move once again. He's beyond Acuna, up towards the edge of the penalty area, and he's got support from Alvarez, who almost wins it back, but Gutierrez plays it wide to the far side. And Mexico will try and create something themselves, and Chavez, who turned his man initially, was then caught by Otamendi, and it will be a free kick to Mexico 10 yards inside their own half.
Yeah, quite often when Otamendi pleads his innocence, you know he's pretty guilty.
Yes. There speaks a defender. Araujo for Mexico. Now Montes wide to the far side. 15 minutes to play on TalkSport. Big games coming up tomorrow. The late game, Spain against Germany. Stuart will be alongside Jim and Adrian for that one. That's in Group E. And at the start of the day, Japan play Costa Rica, 10 o'clock on TalkSport 2 with Adam Bridge and Alvin Martin. Then in Group F, the lunchtime games, or the afternoon games, Belgium against Morocco at 1 o'clock with Ian Danta and Leanne Sanderson. I'll be alongside Dean Saunders at 4 o'clock for Croatia against Canada. And the World Cup is really moving up a gear this weekend. It is time for the big names to really shine, and we've seen Mbappe and Messi do that here so far today. Mexico looking to come forward. Jimenez back towards Herrera, and now wide towards the far side again. A low ball into the penalty area, and it's a good one as well. Chavez is happy to lay the ball off, and then the shot never arrives in the end, and Argentina happy to defend with as much deepness and durability as Mexico did earlier now. As Mexico try and force it, but the ball forward is a poor one and it's quickly cut out on this near side. And the chase forward is made by Alvarez, and he's onside into the penalty area. Squares the ball back in low, looking for Messi. And in the end, I think he was trying to flick the ball on for the player coming in behind him, but Mexico were able to smuggle the ball away. But now Acuna breaking forward down the left, shows too much of that to Montez. And the Mexican captain clears long downfield. Here is Messi. And Messi works the 1-2 with Alvarez deep inside the penalty area, pulls it back left-hand side, and it's beaten away by the legs of Ochoa. Mexico claiming the ball went behind, and in the end, a goal kick has been given.
Yeah, good interaction there. Mexico just really being pressed. Messi just gone down there, he went down off the pitch, walked back on and then collapsed to the ground, hoping play would get stopped. As luck happens, the referee's carried on.
Gutierrez infield again towards Herrera. And Daniel Osato has really taken no nonsense in this game, and we have seen some variable refereeing performances so far, but I think this has been one of the best in the competition we've seen. Mexico looking to create something from somewhere. Raul Jimenez, some way outside the penalty area, and that really gives you an indication of a lack of options further forward. But here is Jimenez now, but he's quickly closed down, and Argentina looking to break themselves now. Palacios has his legs taken away by Herrera, who has already been booked, needs to be careful, but it's a free kick for Argentina just inside their own half. And we have 11 minutes to play here on TalkSport as we tick towards midnight here in the north of Doha. Could you get used to 10 o'clock kickoffs at home?
Well, this is my second one, and by tomorrow night, I'm an early man, I've got to say. I prefer an earlier kickoff, I've got to say, Nigel.
88,966 the crowd here this evening, and this, without any question, is full to capacity.
Just thinking about a 10 o'clock kick-off back home and you're away somewhere up north.
Midwinter.
Yeah, midwinter. You're getting home at 4 in the morning.
Which is what we'll be doing. Every seat taken inside this ground here tonight as Messi has his shirt pulled by a couple of contenders on the far side, and Argentina have a free kick wide on the right. And the Argentinian crowd shout Messi, Messi, and they sort of bow down as if they are worshipping in front of a deity, which basically they are. Now De Paul over the free kick for Argentina, chooses to go backwards though, and I think they'll be very happy with this 1-0 lead as we tick towards the final 10 minutes. Martinez has made one significant save in the game and nothing in the second half, as Julian Alvarez leaps for a high ball with Cesar Montes, who I think would have been a contender for man of the match before Messi's goal for Argentina. Montes again now, wide towards Araujo. Acuna.
They just can't find a way through Mexico, can they? You know, through their huffing and puffing. Argentina have blocked all lines and channels up. Go all the way back to the goalkeeper.
Ochoa again. His heroics kept out Lewandowski in the first game, but he was helpless to deny Messi in this one. And Mexico and now we're doing what Argentina had to do in the first half, which is look up and see a team happy to retreat and have what they hold. Now Acuna on this near side, Palacios with the challenge, and Acuna was fouled, and Mexico do have the free kick. And I just feel, Stuart, that a set piece is their only way back into the game at the moment.
Yeah, they're looking as though they've got no idea at the moment of breaking Argentina down, and maybe a ball into the box, and Jimenez potentially.
Free kick which will be taken by Luis Chavez. An in-swinger with the left foot, high towards the far post, headed away, wide to the far side, but headed back into the penalty area, and it's claimed by Martinez. It was Christian Romero who got the initial header away, and then Mexico tried to recycle the ball, but there was always too much hang and too much air on that, and it was a simple claim for Martinez.
Yeah, dealt with that pretty well. As you say, Nigel, probably the best way of them getting anything out of this game is a set play, but they've got to force one, and they've become pretty rare.
8 minutes to play. Argentina 1, Mexico 0. Live on TalkSport at the 2022 World Cup. And don't forget, a big weekend of boxing coming up next Saturday. Fury against Chisora. Live and exclusive here on TalkSport as Antonio chasing the ball forward on the far side, but all he can do is run the ball out of play, and Argentina have the throw-in. It's December next week.
It's amazing. I mean, I'm listening to the adverts in regard to Christmas and whatever, and when you walk out the stadium and it's 24, 25 degrees, it's very difficult to get your head around that.
And we'll be here all the way through until the end of the World Cup, a week before Christmas.
We'll also be It's a Wonderful Life together, myself and you, Nigel.
Yeah, well, with our families.
Yeah, you know.
We have not quite romantic Christmas Eve, just the two of us.
We have become close over time, you know. Don't fool yourself.
Now to Paul on the far side, and he's challenged by Gallardo, and Argentina have a throw-in, and I think we have to admire the way Argentina have gone about this, because the pressure on them at half-time was immense, but they've come out and they have bossed the game.
Yeah, they have, but I've got to say the goal has really changed the game. You know, the game's opened up now, and to be fair, there was no real build-up to the goal. You know, the heat map of Messi once again is in the central band, and you know, he's ended up unloading a shot that's sort of sidewinded straight into the corner out of sort of nothing.
Well, when you're a veteran player, it's often all about the moments, and Lionel Messi is still capable of producing so many. As Mexico win a goal kick on the far side. And this could be a World Cup defined by so many ageing greats coming towards the end of their careers, and in terms of the World Cup, Lionel Messi is one of those, but of course he is playing so well this season for Paris Saint-Germain. Part of a star-studded forward line. Of course, he and Mbappe have really taken the eye so far in this World Cup, and Neymar is on the treatment table. Mexico looking to build again on the far side, but you just feel that the steam has gone out of them now, and all of that first half verve now seems a long time ago, but there was an acrobatic attempted clearance there on the far side, and the ball is spun behind for a corner. It was Palacios who almost took the Mexican's head off on the far side inside the area, but in the end they will have a corner and they will pack the penalty area.
Yeah, this could be, as you rightly say, one of their best opportunities of getting something.
An out-swinging corner towards the near post, headed away by Romero. It'll be recovered by Alvarado on the far side. Crossing from him is short though. Romero stoops and heads the ball away, and here is Messi, and he's got support left and right, and he goes to the right, and De Paul though is robbed by a lunging challenge which came in from Jesus Gallardo, and once again that is excellent defending from Mexico.
I'll tell you what, I've got to admire the honesty of the Mexicans. They've been so honest in their endeavours today. I think at the end of it, chances are they're coming away with absolutely nothing, but they've given everything they've got.
4.5 minutes to play here. Argentina 1, Mexico 0. Argentina heading for their 4th successive victory against Mexico in World Cup finals. And the team who enjoyed that long unbeaten run, which was ended in such shocking fashion by Saudi Arabia, will now hope this could be the start of another one. Acuna on this near side, the left, looking to attack the penalty area and at least win a corner, which he does off disconsolate of Araujo.
In all honesty, what the Argentinians done, they've started knockout football after the first game, really, haven't they? You know, this is knockout for them, and they looks as though they've jumped the first hurdle.
Corner kick for them on this near side, and nobody is hurrying, and they are not committing too many bodies forward here. It's played short to Messi, only 4 in the penalty area. And now an opportunity for a curling shot, and then it's a brilliant goal from Enzo Fernandez, and the youngster comes up with his first goal for Argentina. What a time, and what a place to score it. Enzo Fernandez teed up by Lionel Messi, and that settles it. Argentina are off and running at the 2022 World Cup. The shock of Saudi Arabia is now well and truly out of their system. Messi and Fernandez have accounted for Mexico. It is 2-0 to Argentina.
Well, 2 super goals have decided this. Fernandez a little step over, opened the goal up, and a curling shot that sort of didn't really drift into the corner. Be interesting to see it again, but goalkeeper with a full dive was nowhere near it.
Well, 21 years of age, and he has come on in this game, and he has come up with a goal which has just settled Argentina down.
Just looking at the replay of that, Nige, fantastic little shimmy of the body, picked it up on the point of the box out wide on the left hand side, little shimmy, opened the goal up, and the loft and the curl and the accuracy of the ball left the goalkeeper absolutely no chance. Wonderful way to finish a game.
It is going to be a very noisy night here in Doha.
And if you thought your journey on the metro was a little, mine too, was a little bit noisy, wait for the return.
It is going to be an incredible journey back towards the centre of the city, because the Argentinians are here in force as well, as Mexico get a free kick conceded by Fernandez. But after 2 games, Argentina now are in a pretty good position with a match still to come against Poland, which won't be easy, of course. They still have work to do, but this will be out of Mexico's hands. They will basically just have to beat Saudi Arabia and hope that Poland and Argentina don't finish above them in the group.
I'm definitely not seeing Poland troubling Argentina a great deal. Nice.
Well, they're on 4 points already, so they may believe they've almost done enough. And of course Mexico do have Saudi Arabia in the final game, but they played well today, and of course they played brilliantly to beat Argentina, but Mexico will still hope there's something in that for them against the Green Falcons. But Argentina here, as we tick towards the end of 90 minutes, are jubilant. And there are Mexicans on the verge of tears all around us. If you played in front of the support every time you step out for your country, Stuart, I know England fans are passionate, but you've got to be a strong figure to deal with it, haven't you?
Just in this, the intensity of this atmosphere is fantastic. You know, who wouldn't, as a player, want to be out there in front of all these people? And both sets of fans, Nige, have played their part. The intensity from the Mexicans as well, and it's been a brilliant place, brilliant stadium to play your football, and a brilliant atmosphere, and the final will be some occasion here.
Into 6 added minutes, here is Alvarez coming forward for Argentina again, but the challenge comes in from Montes, and he's done well to work it wide to the far side, and now there's a break forward for Alvarado, and there's a heavy challenge in behind from Otamendi, and it will be a free kick for Mexico. I'm not quite sure how Otamendi has escaped a yellow card so far this evening, but he has.
It's that cherub-like face of his that gets him away with murder out there, I think.
Never worked for you though, did it?
No, never.
Free kick for Mexico, high into the penalty area, but again it's a poor delivery. But now Acuna has it on this near side, the right. crossed into the penalty area, headed away by a flying Christian Romero, and it will be a throw into Mexico, and it's fielded by Tata Martino, but it's disappointing night for him against his fellow countrymen. There was an Argentinian player down on this near side, and it's Acuna, and there is a suggestion he has cramp, and that's what Lisandro Martinez is telling the referee.
It's head injuries and cramp now we've got to stop the game for.
Yeah, and we're just watching it on monitor, the goal from Fernandez, and
it gets better and better the more you watch it, doesn't it, Nigel?
Great goal.
From behind the goal. I mean, it wasn't right in the corner, but the loft of the ball's done the goalkeeper.
Argentina leading by 2-0. Messi and Enzo Fernandez has given Argentina an opportunity in this World Cup now to shrug off the pressure and ease their way through to the round of 16 and may hope beyond. Of course, the pressure now will switch to Germany tomorrow night on TalkSport when they play Spain. Jim Stewart and Adrian will be there from 6. And before that at 4 o'clock, Croatia against Canada, Belgium, Morocco at 1, and we begin at 10 o'clock in the morning, Japan against Costa Rica. Only a couple more days of those 10 o'clock starts before the double headers begin on Tuesday. For the conclusion of the groups, of course, England and Wales will be involved on Tuesday night. 7 o'clock kick-off on TalkSport from the Al Rayyan Stadium. And we are deep into added time here, halfway through 6 minutes as Mexico just look for a goal to help out the goal difference. Araujo with the cross in, and it's chested down by Jimenez, and the volley from Chavez has been blocked, and Argentina clear downfield. Scaloni is waving them forward. He was in many ways an unlikely choice as manager, a very different character to the combustible Jorge Sampaoli, who departed following the defeat to France in the last World Cup. But the quiet man for so long inspired a very long unbeaten run, and one bad game has not made him a bad coach. Certainly in the eyes of his players, there is a good deal of togetherness in the Argentinian squad, which has not always been the case in the past, as Jimenez with a low cross into the penalty area for Mexico down the left-hand side, and it's cleared away by a scrambling Lisandro Martinez, and it will be a throw-in. Gutierrez infield again towards Herrera. And Mexico finishing this game on the attack, but they are now a beaten side. Antonio's cross in is blocked, and Mexico have the throw in, and 1 or 2 Mexican fans are already beginning to leave. They can't face the full-time scenes, the celebrating Argentinians here, as the cross into the penalty area, headed away again at the far post by Nicolas Otamendi. And I'm not sure we've seen potential winners here tonight, Stuart, but Argentina maybe are growing into the tournament.
Yeah, potentially, as I say, you never know. When you've got an absolute winner like Messi in your ranks, you can win any game, that is for sure. They've got some talent in the ranks, but I do take your point. If I look at Argentina and say, is this your archetypical World Cup winner? I'm not sure.
Well, everything will unfold over the next 3 weeks or so across the TalkSport network. Messi now with a couple of party pieces, and he's just pulled back, and he flexes his right shoulder as the free kick is being given, and at times he looks absolutely shattered, but then he'll produce a moment of brilliance, and that's what he's done here tonight. And you come to World Cups to see people like Lionel Messi perform, and he has given his team such a lift, and they will hope to feed off that in the remainder of the tournament. Argentina have had a rocky road at times tonight. Could have fallen behind in the first half, but in the end they have got the job done as Martinez clears long downfield. Headed forward by Alessandro Martinez. Alvarez almost wins it back. Here is Palacios, and the ball somehow stays in play. Araujo is forced to clear. It's all over, and Argentina can celebrate. It is only 3 points, but it feels like a massive victory. And they were set on their way by Lionel Messi with a brilliant low shot just after half-time to settle their nerves. And then the victory was sealed late on. A brilliant curling shot from Enzo Fernandez. And Argentina, after the shock of Saudi Arabia, will now believe they are established at this World Cup and they can move on from this, and Mexico may now be outsiders to potentially join them in the round of 16. It wasn't a great game, but it was a great atmosphere. It is finished. Argentina 2, Mexico 0.